Hey, welcome back to the Weekly Word Outdoor Adventures. We're on a return trip to Hooper Bald. We did this a few years ago, but we've got new information thanks to my friend Omar Solis here. This Spanish writing is what it was supposed to be on the rock here. I showed it to him one day because he's bilingual. He even carries his Bible to church that's got Spanish and English both in it. So I said, what does this say? And he immediately looked at it and said, that's not Spanish. So, well, okay, he's got to doing some research on the internet, and it's the first time I've ever got that he's ever really, I got him interested in it. It's the first time he's been up here, but he wanted to see this rock because he started researching it. And it's not, well, there's an argument. The guy from UT that had come up here and looked at it years ago said it was Predarms Cassida, September 1615. He thought it was maybe it's a splinter group off of DeSoto's band that was claiming this land and to the point of defending with arms. I always wondered because DeSoto come through in like 1540, and that's quite a few years afterwards. But tell them what you found that somebody else says it meant. These guys, these experts are arguing. One of them says, the guy from UT is wrong. Here's what it really is. Give them a quick synopsis of what you found there.
All right, let me make sure I get it straight
Okay.
before in the article that I found, it says the inscription was not Latin. In fact, it bore no resemblance to the Latin words that would have a meaning as the anthropologist described. The phrase was late medieval Castilian. It meant prayer we will give.
Prayers we will give. September
Married
16.
September 1615.
So this guy's saying this is basically these Sephardic Jews that were in Spain, and they were persecuted and ran off in 1492, same year Columbus sailed the ocean blue, but they had been dispersed probably in 70 AD from the Jerusalem area, and the dispersion had sent them into Spain over the centuries. Then they finally had to leave Spain in the 1600s, or 1492, and they had this rule that if they didn't have a rabbi present, they could have a wedding and you chiseled it in a rock. So according to that, this would basically be a marriage certificate here on Hooper Bald from Spanish Sephardic Jews from 1615. I don't know. There's a lot of writing on here, but all the rest of it I think is modern. Even in one winter I looked on the other side of the rock in that briar patch over there, and it's got J. Reed. No date, but I did have a great uncle who died in the Civil War, and I always wondered if that was Jasper Reed. He didn't live too far south from here. Could be, but that is certainly a mystery. And what I read also about them is they kind of had a language that was sort of a mixture of Hebrew and Spanish. And sort of like, a lot of people like, you hear the word Spanglish around here a lot, because you mix the two languages together. So I think that would have been like a Spabrew, Spanish and Hebrew.
Because Spanglish is very real, very real.
And I don't know, Omar, there's just a lot of things that are mysteries, and we know there's people running around here a long time before we knew. I just read a book from early Tennessee history, and it was just people's writings that had come through here and been collected from, started with DeSoto in 1540, but it opened my eyes to late 1500s and 1600s. There were Spanish people running all over these mountains because they're going over here to Overhill, Cherokee, and as far as boots on the ground, I thought they had a more of a claim to the place than England or France did, who later fought over it, but then of course it ended up, how that ended up. We're Americans today, but I guess there's just a lot of things we're not going to find the answer to until we get to heaven, right?
It's worth the digging, though.
Yes, it's interesting. It makes life interesting, don't it? And maybe somebody can find an affirmative answer. Right now we've got two, like which one's right, or either one of them or neither one of them,
Well, if you look it up just in Google, it'll tell you it's Spanish or Latin, and it'll give you the definition that they think it is. So you definitely have to dig.
Yep. So, I don't know. There's lots of little things like this that make life interesting, though. And I think we'll get to find out the real answers for real when we get to heaven, don't you?
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that, aren't you, brother?
Yes, sir.
But anyhow, this was Omar. We've got his wife Amanda with us here today. She's not in the camera, but it's their first trip to the high country up here, and it's what did we say, like 65 degrees here in the middle of the day on August the 9th, and it's like nice.
I was telling Amanda that's probably what heaven's gonna feel like right here.
It's got to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no sweat and sweat bees in heaven. So, I hope so. I believe that'd be perfect, whatever the
Yes,
perfect thing
yes.
is, right? Well, thank you all for joining us this week. We've enjoyed our trip to revisit the Hooper Bald again, and hope you're in church somewhere this Sunday, serving the Lord. If you don't know Him, make a trip to that altar. We'll see you next week on the Weekly Word.